Cheers. We'll taste it.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, man.
And
man,
taste
do I
that.
need a-
See if you like
I
it.
need a drink, man. Sunday morning brew. We are live. Yes, sir. And why are we able to drink?
Henderson
live?
County passed a new
Yeah, but
law.
it's the North Carolina.
Is it all North Carolina?
Yes,
Oh.
it's because of all the people serving brunches and stuff and the hotel industry and service industry. You couldn't serve alcohol until noon on Sundays, and a few months ago, North Carolina passed a law so that we can now drink on Sunday morning starting at 10 a.m.
That way you can get your Bloody Mary, your mimosa,
Right,
or your craft
or
beer.
your craft beer, and you gotta love it. And so we're here. We're here, as you notice, we're here at a filling station here. We thank Bo Waddell for having this tap room here. With how many taps are up there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many, Steve? 16 taps there of all types of beer.
This is their flagship location, right next to the
Well,
airport.
except they opened up one that's way off somewhere that looks just as nice. Saluda or something like that. Oh, and Rob Brevard and Rosman, right. So that's kind of like this one as well. Yep. So with all that stuff's in the Brewpon app, which is free. Check that thing out. It tells you where everything is. It works as a GPS for craft beer. Brewpon, Brewpon. I'm a little bit affiliated with. We are Brewpon. So that's it. But we're also Community is Brewing, and we're about the craft lifestyle and all that.
And
kind
drink
of stuff.
local now.
And drink local now, which is this show.
We're a trifecta.
Yeah, we're all those things. We're community. Beer, craft beer community, craft lifestyle. Hashtag craft lifestyle, baby.
Yeah. Make that trending on Twitter.
Trending on Twitter. Yes, sir.
Yes.
So
we got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So I want to tell you a funny story about it. So we used to do these shows at our favorite location has been Catawba Brewing on the South Slope. And we thank Billy Pyatt for their hospitality and Jared Turbyfill for having us over there. And they would give us a full ride on the beers and all of our guests, and it's been terrific over there. And the other Jared runs the tasting room, and so this is a great story about Facebook. So it's Facebook. I feel like we use Facebook. I feel like connecting. It's our way of connecting. Transparency, open-mindedness, and communication. And that's our way of connecting to people. And we appreciate Facebook, and we celebrate Facebook for what we're doing, and we like to become friends with everybody on there. And I've been friends with Billy Pyatt, the owner of Catawba Brewing, for a couple years now. We have exchanged messages. We've made plans. We've done all these kinds of things on there, the kinds of stuff you message and you do on Facebook. So our last show at Catawba, I was setting up, and I was sitting up with Tyler, and as I was setting up, somebody said, was sort of trying to get my attention, was sitting close to where our stage was set up like this, and so I looked up, and he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I said, "Hey, how's it going?" And I didn't recognize the person at all. And, I'm not used to this thing of people knowing me. I mean, they sort of know me for being an asshole, if anything, but not maybe fame in a good way, or at least that's the way I feel about myself. So I was like, "Great, how you doing?" So I said, I didn't say, "How you doing?" but I was like, I should ask him how he's doing, because he was being so cordial and nice. I said, "How are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, it's been busy, and things are going good. We had a busy weekend." And I was like, okay. I still didn't know who or what he was talking about. So Ben Wiggins was there. He was sitting at the bar, and he's been on our show a couple times. Wiggo. Oh, we love Ben. He's a champion of Facebook too. He's been dubbed the Facebook agitator. And so I went over to Ben, and he works at Catawba, all the locations, and I said, who's that guy over there? And he said, "Oh, that's Billy." So that was Billy Pyatt. I thought I had known him well. He knew me. He said, "Hey, Tommy," and but the fact was, we had never met in person, and that's why I did not recognize him. I just knew him from a crazy face that he had posted on as himself on his profile, and with his mouth open or something in excitement. And so, anyway, at the end of the night, during the show, I thanked him repeatedly, and he was sort of on in the background. You could see him, and we pointed him out and stuff. And at the end of the show, I went up and thanked him. He said, "You can come on, and you are welcome to do your show here anytime." And I thanked him very much for that, and I totally appreciated that. But the reason why we are here right now is because we have to do, our new policy is, we have clients for the Brewpon app. Bo Waddell is a client, and it's only fair to our clients that we host the shows at their wonderful establishments. So as much as we love Billy and Catawba Brewing, we have to stay true to the folks like Sanctuary Brewing and Mountain River Tap and Growlers and the Casual Pine Asheville and Craft Centric, which is also now Fermented Nonsense Brewing. Yeah. Yes, Josh over there doing the brewing. They just got their license. And French Broad River Brewing, we love very much. Lookout Brewing, John Garcia out in Black Mountain. Love what he's doing too. Hillman Beer, thank you, Brandy Hillman, for being just such a terrific proprietor, and the whole Hillmans. Greg and Brad, who's brewing the beer, won a GABF for something, a bronze, and actually, I would also like to point out about Hillman how awesome their food is there, which is actually a separate operation. They share the same space, but terrific stuff going on over there at Hillman. So, and Brandy, I noticed, was just, if you check, she has been is now a member of the Asheville Brewers Alliance. We appreciate the Brewers Alliance for all the things they've done. They raise a ton of money. We considered signing up for them before the ABA, and it's like $350 to be an associate member, I think, and so we just couldn't afford it at the time, and it just wasn't worth it. So they had put, the reason why we wanted to join was because their website gets a lot of traffic as the ABA, and we thought it would be good to link up have our brand linked up there, mostly for search engine optimization reasons. And so the question was whether it was worth the $350 for us as a business. And after they had put us up on there, I contacted the then executive director, Kendra Penland, and said, "I'm sorry, we just don't have the money right now." And so she said, "That's okay, and let us know." And they took us down from the site, and we were no longer associate members as a result of that, because of course we couldn't pay to. You got to pay to play. So.
So you said then.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago, and I say, Kendra, you.
Yeah.
What's your question? What's your question?
I thought she was the executive director.
Well, as of a couple days ago, she has a new job.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. I think I saw that on LinkedIn.
She's on LinkedIn, yeah, a couple days ago. She's moved on to something else. I'm not sure what she's doing. I asked her if she was staying with the ABA. There was no comment, but it says pretty clearly on LinkedIn that she stopped working for the ABA a few days ago.
Who's running the show?
Right. So I checked with the president, who is listed, which is Billy Pyatt.
Billy Pyatt,
who we were just talking about. And he told me he got back to me and said he hasn't been involved with the ABA in a couple months, and he's been too busy with all his other locations and what's going on in South Carolina with their purchase of Palmetto, which doubled their size, and totally understandable. So I reached out to their vice president, who is Chris from Highwire Brewing.
Yep, Highwire.
Wave's one of the owners there, and he saw my messages. I asked him if he on Facebook. I asked him if he was still with the ABA, and he's seen my messages, but there's no response.
Chris
so.
Frosicker.
Yes, there's no response from him as well.
What about the treasurer?
The treasurer is, as you
Holly.
know, Holly is clearly not the treasurer. So it's sort of suspect what their information is up there, too. That's the only place to get it is on their website. And Holly is, of course, at Guinness now, and I don't think she has anything to do with Holly Stevenson. And, there's a whole, and then there's a list of people who are on Facebook who are a whole new list of people. And it doesn't say board members. and it's confusing, and there really is little information. But so we wanted to celebrate everything they're doing, and and particularly some of the events that Kendra had last year. We raised money for somebody in our community who had a tragic climbing accident. And
that was phenomenal.
Yeah. Tons of money was raised through having a beer event to help him with his bills, and his medical bills and his care. And it just really good stuff that's going on in the community. But unfortunately, there's nobody to talk to now. So you know what? Before I go on with that, I mean, I am freaking boring the shit out of you right now.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Tyler. So why don't we start the show now? Can we do that? All right, let's start the show. All right, so we're going to start the show now here. We got our theme song coming on here. It's by Giraffe behind us, EDM Giraffe. That's J-R-A-F, Giraffe.
Yes.
And we are going to do that. Okay. That's our awesome song by Giraffe right there. That's our theme song.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give another song.
So I hear you're going to like school for that.
Yes.
For EDM. Right?
Yes. For 2 weeks, I'm going to learn how to mix and how to use Ableton Live.
Awesome. And where is that going to be? That's in Durham?
Yeah. And Duke.
All right, we're going over there. We're taking Brewpon there and our show there to drink local now for 2 weeks.
Awesome.
That'll be fun. We're driving the electric Brewpon over there. And,
big
very
brew
exciting
scene out
stuff.
in Raleigh, Durham, Chapel.
Absolutely.
That whole area is just exploding in craft beer. I love seeing that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So where we were talking about the Asheville Brewers Alliance, and
it's hard to find somebody to talk to. Right?
There's somebody to talk to. The purpose of the organization, it says on there, and why don't we pull it up here? We can do. This is really exciting now. I'm going to really stop boring you right now. This is for the betterment of the beer community. Asheville Brewers Alliance formed to promote Western North Carolina produced beers and exchange knowledge and support between our members.
Let me see that map for a second.
Okay.
Do you mind scrolling down?
You want to go scroll down to the map here?
Looks like they got someone in Blowing Rock. And who's in Boone there?
Boone? Where's that? Okay.
Blind Squirrel.
Blind Squirrel.
And who's up there by Appalachian Mountain Brewery?
Appalachian Mountain Brewery.
Are they...
I need to get something.
I've heard some things about them. Are they
Appalachian
really
Mountain Brewery?
craft or not? I don't know.
So, interestingly enough, that's a very good question, Crowler.
Why, thank you.
Appalachian Mountain Brewery is part of the Craft Brew Alliance, which is a misnamed group, sort of like Citizens United is misnamed. It is a traded on the New York Stock Exchange by the definition of craft beer, which is the Brewers Alliance, and that what we go by, the Brewers Association. I'm sorry, what we go by as the definition has to be small, independent, and traditional, and they definitely do not. Appalachian Mountain Brewery definitely does not fit into that because they are owned. It goes back to AB InBev, Budweiser,
at least partially, right?
Similarly, enough percentage where it doesn't make them a craft beer anymore.
Mm-hmm. I like their beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Yes. So it's sort of interesting that, and the question is as we go back here, that's what it says in the Asheville Brewers Alliance, that it says Western North Carolina produced beers, and the majority of their beer by far is being made in Massachusetts right now. So here we have a brewery that is in the Asheville Brewers Alliance that is not in Asheville, but is certainly in Western North Carolina, and is certainly not producing its beers in the vast majority of its beers in Western North Carolina.
Now, Wicked Weed would be I love their beer.
So they're
Don't get me
making their
wrong,
beer here.
But they're owned by AB
They're owned by
right?
AB InBev.
And they're members, right?
$750 million. I think we're pretty set on that. So somewhere between $750 and $800 that it sold for, and that was about a year ago. And their members are all, as I understand it, they
can't vote.
If you speak to people right in the organization, they talk about how they're not voting members.
Like
but then you
are they
ask
voting a lot on voting a lot of stuff?
well, from what I've heard, in my one conversation, they vote on whether they're going to have an event or not, where the event's going to be located, these types of things. They're very procedural, and they vote on who's going to be brought in as a board member. So those are the things that I know about when they did used to meet, and there was someone to contact. But what's different with Wicked Weed is that they are making their beers here in Western North Carolina. And as far as I know, Appalachian Mountain Brewery is a voting member of the board, and they have not been distinguished, even though they're doing great things there as well. I know they have a nonprofit that a lot of their money goes to. And I would even say, all these haters on AB InBev, it is, let's transition back here. Because I am fucking rambling, am I not? Yes. So you can see us, our mugs. Here we are again. Yes, sir. Yeah. So initially, at first, I was, in principle, I am completely against, and as an organization of Community as Brewing and what we stand for, I'm completely against these giant beer companies,
behemoths.
Behemoths that are controlling their monopolies in a sense, and but that doesn't mean I'm against the company and what it's doing necessarily, and how they affect locally and the people us locally. It is against them principle, and I do blame the government and lack of regulation for the most part is for why these things exist, and Citizens United. And I blame the fact that we allow, as a country, because of Citizens United, the people with the most money in these corporations are able to control who's in office and our elections. So let's get off, let's get off AB InBev's back, because I think they're learning. I think they were really dumb as a corporation and how to handle small businesses when they were buying their craft breweries, but all signs point to them learning, and they are doing a very good job with craft beer. And I got to tell you, my favorite person now at Wicked Weed is the chief of operations. Tim, he moved here from St. Louis. He was the guy from AB InBev who moved over here. I gave him an Uber Lyft ride to work in the Brewpon electric Brewpon, and when he got out of the car, he said to me, "Fuck the man." So that's my man. I said, "Hey, look, you got to come on the show with us. We would love to have you on the show." And he said, "Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it. But I got to check with the people at Wicked Weed, who the former owners who are running things." And that's where it all got shut down. They wouldn't let him come on. We didn't even want to talk about Wicked Weed. I wanted to talk about AB InBev and how cool that is. And they made it about themselves, and it was just really crazy and annoying. And from all accounts, I love the owner. Has done great things for the community. What's his name? I can't remember.
Is it the guy?
Rick Guthrie. Rick Guthrie is the owner, and was the majority owner, and that's what you consider the majority owner is owner. Okay, for all those of you, when you talk about different owners, if somebody's a majority owner, that's the one who gets all the say. So the other people got money with the sale and everything, but the guy who owned it was Rick Guthrie, and a terrific guy, and so that's
and AB InBev.
Yeah.
They're you mentioned St. Louis. I mean, it's European based. I mean, it's not even an American company. So
right,
there's that.
You're right. What do you think about that, Tyler?
I was pissing off.
Yeah, good, because I would too. Because now we've pretty much gotten it all out there and everything we think, and I don't know. typically we have more audio problems and there's a little more reality. And we
If
would
you want
we
reality,
would talk about what a loser I fucking am and how crazy I am and all that kind of
He
shit.
likes that. He likes
Kind of like Howard. We're the Howard Stern. I'm the Howard Stern of craft beer. That's basically it. I wish. Like I shouldn't be
idol.
using his name in vain. Maybe
Howard
I-
Stern
I-
and Mark Zuckerberg. Those are
that's
his two
me.
idols.
Oh, we're all Jewish. That's funny.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, culturally.
That's the
Alrighty.
key to success. Just be Jewish.
Yeah, there you have it from Giraffe. The key to success is just be Jewish.
Just be cheap. That would be a bumper sticker.
And Tyler, Giraffe, what percent Jewish are you?
62.5.
let me
Wait,
calculate
no.
that.
He said Giraffe.
Wait, let me.
He told you. He just told you.
Wait.
Calculate. Carry the one.
No.
I'm 0%.
No,
I got
Giraffe.
this shit in my head. I know.
How much? What percent are you Jewish?
62.5%.
Percent
62 and a
Jewish.
half.
62.5%. Why are you 62.5% Jewish?
I don't know. You told me.
Okay. You're mostly Jew. I would tell you when you were a little kid, and I would tell you to go tell at school, say, I'm mostly Jew.
They circumcised
Specifically told me to say I'm
62.5% of his penis.
62.5% Jewish.
Here's the story. This is what
Not
we're going to
mostly.
close you with. So on my wife's side, Missy, my beautiful wife, she grew up in the Asheville area, and one of her grandparents was Jewish, named Kaplan with a K, Jewish name, and was left behind in Asheville with another family by the new evil stepmom. And they moved up north. And so he was raised Methodist, I guess when he was 11, and he was he later became a deacon in the church as well. But that does not, as people in our society know, does not stop him from being a Jew.
Oh,
That's the 12.5%.
I get it. Now I get
So
it.
that's the 12.5%. So I'm full on.
You think you are.
And,
You got to do a 23 in May. You might find out you're like 48% or 98%.
Are we not really proud of ourselves and our culture?
We
Tyler?
are
Yes,
stupidly
sir.
proud
Yes,
of
sir.
ourselves.
Can I get a cheers on that milk you're drinking over there?
It's empty.
Thank you. That's all right.
Cheers, everybody.
There's 2% milk back there.
It isn't even 2%, just full on fat.
Oh,
Because
full on fat.
Because I
yeah.
like to spoil myself.
Well, that's what. Yeah,
FOF.
he spoiled himself. He went all out and got that whole milk. Whole milk.
All right.
Okay, so what we got now?
That's it.
Drink local, think global, think mobile. We love you. Yeah. Can I give
Bye,
a yell out?
bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Jesus.
Yeah. Jeez.